Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's call. I want to thank you all for getting on this call. Before I get started, I want to go over some house rules very quickly. This call is going to be live streamed and recorded, so we're going to ask that you keep your audio on mute and your cameras off so as not to interfere with the stream of the call. But also want to thank you for getting on. If you have invited guests to this evening's presentation and you don't see them in the participants list, send them a quick text. Say, hey, we're getting started. You're going to miss some great information, so we don't want you to miss out. So please make sure if you have guests and you don't see them in the chat, make sure to go ahead and send them a quick message. Also, if you are a guest and it's your first time here, we ask that at some time during the course of the call, you take a moment to type in the chat your name and who invited you. For example, if your name is Anthony and you was invited by Kim, you would say, just type Anthony invited by Kim. In this way, they can know that you were here. Oftentimes when we have these calls, some people log in with a phone number or it'll just say Zoom or to say iPhone. There's no way of knowing who that is. So we ask that you all take a moment, sometime before the end of the call, type in the chat your name and who invited you, and we welcome you. So you guys were invited to hear about a phenomenal opportunity. If you saw the invitation, it says something very profound. It says if you don't spend time taking care of your wellness, you'll be forced to find time in your illness. We see so many people that wait until they have a major issue before they go see a doctor, before they go take care of any issues they may be having. I have a brother. It's so hard to get him to go to the hospital unless there's something dire. But we have to take more responsibility for our health and our wealth. And I'm going to talk about this here. I'm going to talk about your wealth. When I talk about wealth, I mean your health because your health is your wealth. Because think about it, would you rather have $1 million, be on medication, in pain all the time, can't get out, you have trouble walking, you're going back and forth to the doctor, you're getting stuck with needles all the time, taking 10 different medications, or would you just be comfortable and have your health? Obviously, I would choose health, but what if you had to have an opportunity to be both? Well, we're going to talk about it this evening. First and foremost, I have a question as I start this presentation, as we always start, is have you been patched? And if you have not been patched, by the time I'm finished with this presentation, you will not only want to get patched, you're going to want to call the person who invited you this evening because one day makes a difference. It can make a huge difference in your life and your health and your wellness. So again, pay close attention to the information. I'm sure you're going to have questions. We're going to answer those questions throughout. But the question is, have you been patched? And we're talking about the tiny patch that you see before you. It is a stem cell activation patch. It elevates, activates, and regenerates something in the body called your copper peptide. Your copper peptide, again, is a protein in the body, and it was discovered back in 1973 that if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, it will regenerate and reactivate your dormant stem cells. Why is that important? I'm going to share with you in a minute why that's very important. But before I do so, I want to start this presentation with a brief video. It's about 3 hours, but I'm going to show you the 3 minute version. But again, it's very impactful. This video. It's going to tell you a little bit about what this patch is, how it was created, what it does for you, and then I'm going to go into more detail when I get into the other side of that video. So just take some notes. If you haven't already done so, grab a pen and pad. Take some notes about what you're going to hear. And after this 2.5 to 3 minute video, I'm going to come back on the other side and tell you why you want to be patched.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisaninfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results, income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology. This is the team. And this is your moment. This is it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. In fact, that had to be the name of our team. And just to show what that looked like, this is the patch. It's about the size of a quarter. And, it's almost like an bandage. It has an adhesive side where you peel it off and you put it on your body. I'm going to tell you how to wear it, where it goes. And it's hard to see. Let me get a close look. There it is. That is the patch. That's it. And when you look at it, you're wondering yourself, how can that little thing do so much? Well, I'm going to explain to you how that works. First, let's talk about the incredible genius behind this patch and technology. His name is David Schmidt. David Schmidt is the CEO and the inventor of a company called LifeWave and this patch that we call the X39. David has over 200 patents. He's a scientist and inventor. He specializes in age reversing technology. In fact, in 2008, David focused attention on stem cell research. Now, you might have heard about stem cells. There's a lot of controversy around stem cells. First and foremost, they're very expensive. It doesn't no guarantee that it works. It's usually just a localized treatment where they take a needle, they stick it in your body, and they're transferring a foreign body into your body. It's almost like when you get an organ transplant. It has to match. There's so many things that have to be right for it to work. But again, there's no guarantee, there's no money back, and it's not covered by any kind of insurance. So there is a lot of risk with getting stem cell shots. But this is not stem cell shots. In fact, this patch does not include any stem cells, but it does help activate dormant stem cells. Again, when he focuses attention on stem cell research, he spent about 10 years and $4.5 million of his own money to bring this particular patent to market. That's commitment. That's dedication. Now, this is a patented technology that simply means there's proof that it has to work, and it's patented not just here in the U.S. In over 80 countries. It's been approved, and you know what it takes. Every country is different, and in fact, there are some countries that won't even allow ingredients that we use here in the U.S. because of they don't consider them safe. But David has got an approval all over the world. Again, and I'm just going to read some of it. And again, if you want to look at the patent numbers there, I'm going to give you a website where you can look at the patent. But here's what you need to know about a patent. You cannot, let me repeat that, you cannot get a patent for something if it doesn't do what you say it does. And look what it says it does. It says, as a result of elevating your copper peptide, including activation of stem cell, improvements in energy, elevation of the antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement of stamina, elevation of the collagen and production, and improve wound healing. That's just some of the things that it does. This is not me. This is the patent. This is what it proved that it does. But the bottom line is the patch does work. It does what it says it does. And again, because of the patent, there's another 15 years or so left, and no one else can duplicate what we have, which makes it unique and rare and power. Now, how did this simple X39 patch work? Very simply, it is proprietary form of phototherapy. Proprietary simply means it's owned by the inventor. It's phototherapy. Phototherapy is not new. As a kid, I can remember playing with magnifying glasses and holding it in the sun. I harnessed the power of the sun, and I could literally burn a hole in a leaf. I can burn bugs if I wanted to. You know, it was a little mischievous as a kid, but you can do all kind of things with phototherapy. It's not new. Dermatologists use phototherapy with light to try to improve your skin and do other things. So people go and get tanning salons to sit under a light so they can darken their skin. So phototherapy is not new, but it is powerful. It's a patented nanocrystal technology. Again, patented means, again, there is a patent on it. We are the only ones that have it. Nano simply means small. Crystals just simply means salts, sugars, and amino acids. There's no chemicals, anything in this patch. There's no stimulants. It reflects light to activate, and I mentioned this earlier, something in the body called a copper peptide. A copper peptide, again, it was discovered back in 1973. Laurent Picard was a scientist. He's dedicated his life to trying to find a way to cure cancer. He did not find a way to cure cancer, but he is the one who discovered the copper peptide. And he said, if you can figure out a way to activate your copper peptides, guess what? It will wake up your stem cells. I'm going to tell you why that's important. Why is it important that you wake up your stem cells? You may ask. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. It is non-transdermal, which simply means it does not penetrate the skin. Again, it's non-invasive. And I love that because, again, most people who have to deal with different things, unfortunately, you have to go to what I call the pharmaceutical cartel. Yes, I say cartel because they develop treatments, drugs, and I have a lot of respect for doctors, but they go to schools to learn how to treat, not to prevent. They spend a majority of their time learning how to treat. You tell them the symptom, they'll tell you what to take for it. They'll give you surgery. Oftentimes, they give us chemicals and stimulants and these other treatments that don't work. Have you ever gone to the doctor? You had an issue. They gave you something for it, and it just didn't work. In fact, in some cases, it got worse. Or they may have said, let's try something else. Have you ever heard that? Hey, let's try something else. We call that practicing, and that's why they probably call it a medical practice because they're practicing on guess what? Guess who? You and I. We are the guinea pigs, and there's no incentive for drugs to work because again, they would go out of business if they find a cure for everything that we have. They will go out of business. So there's no cure for it. So the bottom line is you don't have to worry about taking drugs because if you ever look at a commercial, and I see them all the time, the commercials are always bright, nice colors. People are happy and gay, and they're singing and dancing about some drug that they're taking. But what the big print giveth, the small print taketh away. Yes, this drug will do X, Y, Z for you. It will help you feel better. It will get rid of this. However, it can cause cancer, death, stroke, heart attack, and you can even die. So I don't know about you, but those aren't great odds, and I think I'll take my chances without it. So let's talk about this patch a little bit more. What are the benefits of the patch? It gives you optimum health and wellness, overall feeling, improved exercise performance, improvement in strength, improvement in your stamina, healthy energy flow, no drugs or stimulants. Again, you can achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. I mean, you just feel better. It's just like an aura that you get. Now, I'm going to read a disclaimer and a caution again. If you do wear the patch, remove it immediately if you feel any discomfort or skin irritation occurs, which is rare, but you can wear it on your clothing. You don't have to wear it on the skin if that happens. Do not reuse the patch once removed from the skin for external use only. It's not edible. Do not ingest it. Do not use or on wounds or damaged skin. Always ask a health professional before using if you have a health condition. Any questions or concerns about your health, do not use if you are pregnant or nursing. It's not intended for use on children. Do not apply or use patches other than as directed by the product. Products to be stored in a room temperature. So those just something you should know about the patch. We want to give you full disclosure. Now let's talk about the long-term results of the patch. And these based on case studies. And I want you to write this down. This is a website where you get a chance to see those case studies. It is thisisinfo.com. This is itinfo.com. If you go to that site, you get all the information you need about the patch. Let's talk about what happens. When you first put on the patch, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. And I want to tell you how significant that is because there have been studies about the benefits of drinking red wine because there's an ingredient in red wine called resveratrol. It is basically the extract of a grapeseed. And studies have been done that say if you drink a glass of red wine, you can reverse or reset two of your genes. So if you can reset two of your genes with a glass of wine, and you could reset 4,000 genes with this patch, could you imagine how much wine you'd have to drink to get that kind of a effect? Again, that's one of the first things that happen. Your brain becomes balanced. I'm going to show you physical proof. I'm going to show you a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman who had migraine headaches for years. She's tried everything: acupuncture, massage, medication, you name it. She's tried it. Your collagen increases. Now, that's very important because collagen is not just significant for your hair, your nails, and your skin. Collagen is like the glue to your body. It's in every organ in your body. And again, if you can improve your collagen, guess what? You can improve your health. You might see a lot of people are buying collagen supplements. They're ingesting it. They're rubbing it. They're doing everything to try to create collagen. But guess what? What if your body can wake up the stem cells in the body and your collagen and helps itself? Your heart reverses in age. It's phenomenal how things happen again. And this is proven by blood and urine tests. It is not just anti-aging. It is age reversing. That's a comment by David Schmidt. He's the CEO and inventor of itself. Again, that is the power of the long-term results. And there are many, many more. We have literally thousands of people who have used these patches throughout 70, 80 countries that are having phenomenal results just by using this patch. Here's the brain scan I talked about. This is called a topography map. It is a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. They placed this X39 patch that we talked about on the back of her neck. In session one, if you look in the far left, you notice the reddish orange area. That represents inflammation in the brain. It's a lack of brain coherence. As we get older, we start to forget things. We get brain fog. You walk into a room looking for your glasses and they're sitting on top of your head. Or you're talking to someone on the phone and you say, hey, I can't find my cell phone. And guess what? You're talking on it. So the bottom line is things happen as we age. Look at what happened after 3 weeks of wearing the patch. You notice the reddish and the inflammation is gone. She has improved brain coherence. And look what happened after 6 weeks. Complete turnaround, better brain coherence. The bottom line is this is improving her tremendously. And if this is what's happening in your brain, could you imagine what's happening in the rest of your body? Because remember, we have stem cells throughout our body. And the reason that it's important that you activate your stem cells is because by the time you turn 30, half your stem cells are inactive. By the time you turn 60, over 90% of your stem cells are inactive. So they're not doing what they're designed to do, which is to heal the body and to prevent us from aging so quickly. But if you don't have active stem cells, guess what? You age quickly and you heal slower. That's why you can break a leg or arm when you're a teenager, when you're young, and you go get a cast put on, you go back out, and it's like new. You go back and do the same thing you did. But if you get that same injury in your later years, there's no turning back. There's no repairing. There's no comeback. You generally have to get a cane or walker, or you have to replace it. So many people are getting hip replacement, leg replacement, knee replacements. I got a friend, we kind of jokingly call him the Bionic Man because he had a hip replacement, both knees. Now I'm talking about other issues. But the bottom line is, again, this helps even with people that have those challenges. Now, how do you wear the patch? Very simply, you wear the patch for 12 hours on your body. And once you put it on your body, it's going to elevate, activate, and regenerate your stem cells. I'm going to give you an analogy. We talk about getting vitamin D from the sun. Now, we don't get vitamin D from the sun directly. We get it indirectly. And what do I mean? There are certain wavelengths of light that when it hits our body, it wakes up what God has given us, which is the vitamin D that's already in our body. We already have vitamin D in us. We just need something to activate it. Just like plants. Plants, if you notice, they're always reaching towards the sun because we are light beings, just like the plants. So the bottom line is when you put this patch on, what it does, it acts as a mirror and it reflects the infrared light that is already trying to leave your body. If you have ever seen somebody use night vision goggles, a police officer, law enforcement, they're looking for lost children, they're trying to find animals. In the military, they can see the enemy miles away because of the heat that is emanating from our body. We are light beings. If you know your Bible very well, what did it say? Let there be what? Light. We are light beings. So when you put this patch on, it reflects that light back inward at this just the right frequency. And guess what? When it does that, it activates what we talk about, the copper peptide. Remember what I said about Laurent Picard in 1973? He spent a lifetime trying to figure out how to cure cancer, but he figured out and discovered the copper peptide. And he said, if you can activate your copper peptides, it wakes up your stem cells. If you wake up your stem cells, guess what? It wakes up your body. It starts to go seek and destroy those things that are damaging us. Our stem cells are the repair cells of our body, and some of your stem cells can actually be converted to any stem cell your body needs. So if you need stem cells in the heart, guess what? It can be converted to a heart stem cell, the brain stem cell, the lung, the liver, the bones, the structure. So the bottom line is it works. Now you remove after you wear the patch for 12 hours. Let's say you put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning. You take it off 8 o'clock at night, discard it, and then you wait until the next morning to put on another patch because after the 12 hours of your body elevating, activating, regenerate those stem cells, it's going to rest, repair, and rejuvenate the body. It is well documented that if you get good sleep, you will also be healthier. So again, if this helps you sleep better, guess what? It also helps you heal better because again, that's when your body rejuvenates itself. Now I'm going to have a couple of testimonies. I have one gentleman on, a good friend of mine, who I shared the patches with, and he's had some tremendous opportunities and tremendous results as a result of wearing the patch. I'm going to see if my good friend, Mr. Michael Huggins, if you online, Mr. Huggins, can you unmute your line and share your testimony? Mr. Michael Huggins, let me see if I can find him. I believe I saw him earlier. Going to unmute you, Mr. Huggins. There you go. All right, Mr. Huggins, can you unmute yourself? Maybe a little challenge. Okay. If you are able to unmute yourself, come back on, Mike. I'm going to go to the next testimony. The next testimony is dear and personal to me because it is my mother's. Mike, are you there? No. Okay. That's me having echo. Now, again, my mother's used the patch for almost 2.5 years now. She is a young 85 years old, has 9 children. She's had multiple surgeries, triple bypass. I mean, you name it. She's had so many things happen in her life that is just a blessing that she's still here. But I started giving her the patches. That is my mother on the that I'm leaning on at the awards banquet. That is me in the middle. And on the right, that's me getting an award for community service where I grew up. And the bottom line is, I'll get back to you in a second, Mike. I'm going to play this testimony and then we'll get back to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we'll get back
Okay,
to you.
great. All right.
So,
Yes.
so my mother started using the patches, and twice a year the doctors come in. She gets an annual physical an exam at the house. So they come to her, they take her blood, they take her vitals. If she needs any testing, they'll bring her in. But she actually had about a little more than a month ago, the doctor came to see her. And after the doctor left, she called me and actually she left me a message in terms of the result because she was so elated and excited about how well the patch had been doing for him. So let's listen to my mother's testimony and then we'll get back to Mike.
Yeah, Derek. I was just letting you know that I had a visit from the visiting nurse, and she took all my vitals and checked me out and everything, and she said everything was fine. And she was so proud of my heart and my blood pressure and everything. She said, "Yeah, you're gonna live to be 100." I told her, "Yeah." She said, "I told her, yeah, I was taking these patches," and I showed her the patches that she gave me, the ones for the Silent Night and the Ice Wave, and she took pictures of it because she was saying she was gonna check it out. So I said, okay. So she said, well, they're doing you some good. I said, they are, because I said, you see how I am, because she was talking about how good my heart was beating and my pressure was good. So I'm really feeling good about it, because they seem to be doing pretty good. Okay.
Okay, Mom. So that was my mom again. She's been using the patch for almost 3 years now. She has tremendous results. Her energy level is higher. Her hair should be mostly gray and white. You know, even her hair is actually turning black, is growing differently. So she's seeing a lot of benefit from the patch. And again, that's just one example of it. We have literally hundreds, if not thousands, testimonies. Now I'm going to reach out to my good buddy, Mr. Michael Huggins. Mr. Michael Huggins, can you go on and share your testimony with our guests and our partners?
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Derek, for allowing me to share my testimony about the X39 patch. About 2.5 years ago, Derek introduced me to the X39 patch. I'm legally blind, and as most doctors will tell you, glaucoma is not reversible. So that I'm looking for something holistic because the doctors feel that that's something they can't cure yet. So I'm trying to throw everything I can at this, and I believe, and the science seemed very workable. So on the first day that I got my patches, I actually wore two patches, both on my temples. and looking for that one hit result. That didn't happen the first day. But what I did chart and happened on the first day was that I had 6 bowel movements. It wasn't poop. It wasn't diarrhea. It was straight poop. So I made it. I took some notes down that of exactly what happened. That you know my colon was being cleaned up. So the next day I put on 2 more patches, and the next day so I noticed that I wasn't feeling stuffy because I had developed late stages allergies in life, and at that time I was taking Benadryl to get to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I'm taking Allegra, so it's like I was eating Skittles all day long just in order to be able to breathe. For the rest of the week, as I kept putting the patches on, I kept noticing different things were happening. Um, I had both knees replaced because I played basketball well into my 50s with my son. There was no pain in the knees any longer, although with knee replacement surgery, you still have that residual pain because you're partially mechanical. I developed plantar fasciitis. There was no pain there also. I thought I needed hip replacement surgery. That pain disappeared also. Lower back pains disappeared. Um, I suffered from high cholesterol since 1992. I did everything that I could. I ran, I swam, I biked, I played endless games of basketball, and for some reason, my bad cholesterol, I just could not get that down. After wearing the patches for 6 months, my cholesterol was in the safe zone. My hair, I'm actually, I choose to be bald, but um, I used to have to shave every 3 days, but now I have to shave every day because the hair and nails grow back that much faster. Let's see what else is going on. Um, what's one thing I tell folks with about these X39 patches, that patch is smarter than we are, and we can't pick what's gonna to fix. The body knows what needs to be fixed, what needs to be done first. So just give it some time, because healing comes over time, not overnight. So if you give it some time and you're patient with it, it will definitely work for you because the body is going to heal itself. It has a way of healing itself, and the X39 is the way to get through that. Mr. Hawkins, I give it back to you.
Thank you, Michael, for sharing your testimony again, ladies and gentlemen. His is just one of many. And again, the great thing about the patch, we never know what it's going to do because it is a smart patch. It actually knows what your body needs more than you do. And again, so it may not go to what you think. For example, if let's say you got a pain in your elbow, but you have a bad heart, it may go to the heart first. It may go to the liver, the lungs, any other part of the body that needs it more. But you wear it past long enough, you will see the results. And again, they have a tremendous success rate, and that's why they're able to get the patent. Now, for those who want more information, if you're like me, I'm an engineer by profession. I retired as an engineer. But again, if you want some information, go to the source. Go to thisisitinfo.com. Do not do the lazy Google search. Again, because Google, they're smart marketers on the way. They know how to redirect you to where they want you to go. So go directly to the source. This site was put together with a lot of time, effort, and energy. And just remember, this patch was approved in over 80 countries. So the due diligence of countries and agencies. They have more resources to do research than we do. But again, they put it all together for you at the This Is It Info page. So go to there for the information. Now I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes talking about the benefits of it from a business perspective. Again, LifeWave, the 20-year-old company, available in over 75 plus countries. And just look at the growth. Now, the patch was developed around 2020, around the pandemic. And on average, LifeWave was generating about $20 million per year for 20 years. They're 21 years old this year. But look what happened in 2022. Just 1 year later, after the patch was introduced, it went from $20 million to $320 million in 1 year. Then it went to $430 million in 2023. over 600 million, over $500 million in 2024. They're still finalizing the number. The push is for $1 billion. So the company is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. So that's just to let you know this company is growing. It's unique, and the reason that it's growing because it's not what we call a Me Too product. What I mean by that, it's not a vitamin supplement, things that everyone else sells. This is uniquely unique to LifeWave. You can only get it from LifeWave. Okay, there's another 15 years left of exclusivity. LifeWave is ranked the #1 momentum company in momentum by a magazine. There's a publication called businessforhome.org. This media company spends its time identifying, evaluating direct sales companies around the world. There are 6,000 companies in that list. And guess where we rank? LifeWave ranked #1 in momentum 2 years in a row. That means we're growing faster than anyone else. And there's a reason that we're growing because it obviously is working. We also just received a prestigious award. It's called the 2025 Biotech Breakthrough Award. It's a product award, again, for Stem Cell Innovation of the Year. Again, this award is, again, they had applicants from over 15 different countries, thousands of nominations, and we were the winner of that award. Just recently received it. So, again, that tells you this company is having a breakthrough in what they're doing. And if it didn't work the way it does and it didn't have as much impact, we would not be getting an award for it. Now, what's important in your life? Is it your family time? For me, I love family time. I love, my faith, my family, my friends. Security. Everybody wants security. Everybody wants to live safe and sound and be protected and just be able to enjoy life. Everybody wants to travel. Whether it's traveling across the seas, whether it's traveling locally, whether it's traveling, from state to state, whatever it is, we all like to travel and get away. How about better health? I think we all would raise our hands if I said, who wants better health? I've never met anyone who said they didn't want better health. I think we all want better health, and then less debt. Those things we're looking for. So again, those things. The reason I share that because we all want those things, and guess what? Those things are available through this company. This company also allows you to have it to generate income just by doing what I'm doing right now. I'm just sharing information, and if you can share information like I do with other people, and they decide they want to use the patch like we do, guess what? You can get compensated for that. Let's talk about LifeWave versus a traditional business or conventional business. Conventional business is usually a high startup cost. I don't care what kind of business you want to start. It could be a lawnmower company. It could be an ice cream franchise. If it could be a fast food restaurant, most of them are going to be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to start. Again, low startup cost for LifeWave. We're going to talk about it in a minute. How about risk? Very high risk when you open up a business. Anything could shift. If that can change the direction of your business. Anybody remember uh, what's the company that had the videos? See, I can't remember the name now. But used to be able to rent videos, take it to the store, and they made millions of dollars on you, hoping that you return those videos late. But then Netflix came along and said, you know what, we're going to stream videos to the home. You don't have to worry about getting late charges or late fees for getting back late. Blockbuster. It was called
Blockbuster, yeah.
There you go. Thank you. And again, so the bottom line is, you have a 30-day risk-free trial for using it. With the conventional business, you have long hours. A lot of times, if you own a business, the business owns you because what happens if you own a business and your employee doesn't show up? Guess what? Guess who has to stay around and make up for that? You do, right? Make up your own schedule. You can do this business on your own. We don't have to go out to do the business. We just do the business when we're out. You do it as a extension of your life. In the business, there's a lot of trial and error. Here we have a 21-year track record of success where the company has never missed a payment. The company's grown by leaps and bounds. And again, we're looking for people who want to help eradicate bad health in their communities, and we have the training to do that. Now, what does Lifeway offer? Opportunity happens by creating solutions. We have a solution to bad health. We have a solution to debt. Again, what are the current problems we're looking to solve? Market oversaturated with illegitimate products. I mean, there's so many people with knockoffs and things that don't do what they say they do because people can get away with it. But again, we have a patented phototherapy technology. You can only get it from us if you want the real thing. Okay. How about financial struggles? A lot of people are struggling. The prices are going through the roof. Gas is high. People losing jobs. I mean, there's so many things that are happening. It's really not easy to live these days. Again, so a lot of people have financial struggles. Guess what? We have a duplicable business model. We have a model that you can follow. And if you follow the steps, guess what? You get the results. Poor health and wellness. It goes without saying. And many of us were invited because we know people, we have family members. Some of us may have poor health, and but again, poor health and wellness is rampant in this country because of all of the challenges, the water, the food, the condition of the air, stress, all those things add to it. But guess what? You can have optimum health and wellness with this patch. Okay. Let's talk about how to get compensated. I'm going to explain it in a way that's very simple. If you share this information with people, you'll earn some income. And we have what's called a binary structure. Binary means two. You have a left side and a right side. And if you share this with people, they can only go on your left or right side. And the great thing about that is if somebody comes in next week, they have to go on the left or the right side, and they'll be underneath you, and that'll keep growing to as long as people are joining. That means you're going to get compensated for what they do. So what do? We buy the patches. We use the patches. We share the patches. And then we have some people that want to do the same, and they become what's called brand partners. But the bottom line is all we're doing is sharing the goodwill of these patches and what they do. And with this binary structure, if you share with other people and you get two people on the left and two people on the right, guess what? You can earn up to $25,000 per week in this structure. Now, to do it again, it's accumulation of people using the patches. And again, the bottom line is this is just one of the 9 ways we get compensated by simply sharing with other people. So the more people you share with, guess what? The more you earn. So that's called a binary bonus. We also have what's called a business launch bonus because they want you to start earning right away. This is some pocket money that you can earn when you first get started. Again, your first 48 hours, let's say you share with two people, one on your left side and one on your right side. If you look at the left side of the screen, guess what? You are promoted to the first level, which is called a one-star manager. As a one-star manager, and somebody who has get started what we call a pack. I'll show what those packs are. You can earn $25 per week for 9 weeks. It said for 9 weeks just for doing that. But if you get two people on your left and two people on the right, you now become what's called a two-star manager. And as a two-star manager, guess what? You're going to earn $50 per week for 9 weeks. Now, here's the benefit of that. If you're the person who introduced the person who became a manager, let's say I'm your friend, I'm your relative, somebody we went to high school together, maybe we worked together, maybe you bumped into me in the supermarket. There's somebody that you share this information with. I decide I'm going to join. I'm excited. I want to start to build real quickly. And guess what? If I become a one-star manager and I earn $25 a week, you're going to earn a matching 50% bonus just because you shared it with me. That's called leverage. If I can become a two-star manager, which means I have two on my left and two on my right, and earn $50 a week, you're going to earn a 50% match of that for 9 weeks. And all you do is introduce me to the opportunity. And you can introduce as many people as you want. Again, that's a business launch to get you off to a great start. They also have what's called a mentor matching bonus. And the way the mentor matching bonus works very simply is, let's say you introduce this to me. I'm on your first level, your first generation. I like to use the example of your children. Your children are your first generation. So anybody in your first generation, your children, guess what? Anybody on your second generation, and your grandchildren. So if they have kids, you have another level. If they have kids and it keeps going, you have different generations. When I talk about generation, think about generational wealth. Think about your own family. You can earn anywhere from 5 to 20% on everything that they do based on your level and where you are in a compensation plan. So you can earn, in total, you can earn up to $20,000 per person at every level in this organization. So again, if you share with people, you're going to benefit because what they do, you actually benefit from. That's called a matching bonus. Okay, so tell it to as many people as you can, because here's what I know. If you share this opportunity with me, you don't know all the people I know. And the people that I know, I don't know the people they know. And the bottom line is it just grows and you have no control of it growing. And the bottom line is this is a system that duplicates your efforts. Again, so you share it with people who share with people who share with people. And the more people you share with, the more you earn. Okay. Now to get started, you can fill out a form. Now the form again allows you to select what we call a pack. You have a couple of ways to get started. If you want to purchase a sleeve of these patches, the sleeve is basically a 30-day supply in the envelope. We call this a sleeve, but it's an envelope with 30 patches in it. It's a 1 month supply. It retails for $149.95. So if you want to pay $149.95, you can. But why pay retail when you can get it wholesale? You can get it for the same price that we all get it. We always call brand partners. And only difference is that we decided we want to get started with some inventory. So if you want to become a brand partner, you can pick one of these 4 set what we call bundles to get started. The first one is called a core pack, where you're gonna get 3 sleeves. 3 sleeves is 3 times 30. That's a 90-day supply. At a minimum, you should all get started at the core level because that's gonna allow you to use the patches for a 90-day period. If you have a spouse or significant other, guess what? You need a 30-day supply. They need a 30-day supply. And with the other 30-day supply, guess what? You can give some samples to people that you love and care about so they can see how the patches work for them. So again, it's $2.95. Again, so you get a discount by getting getting it as a bundle. If you want a bigger discount, you want to get the advanced pack. The advanced pack are 6 sleeves of the X39. It costs you $5.35, so you get a bigger discount because you're getting more patches. So you're just buying inventory. It doesn't cost you anything to join. You're only paying for inventory. Now, the next level is called Advanced Plus. If you're more serious, you want to get for $9.75. Again, instead of paying $1,100, you get for $9.75. You get 11 sleeves. And if you want to get the best option, which I say is you want to get the premium pack. The premium pack is 20 sleeves. It's like a business. If you open up a franchise, you want to have inventory. You want to be able to have them on hand. So if somebody joins your business the day after you join, guess what? You can give them 3 sleeves or 6 sleeves until they get their own pack. You can also share it with more people. And again, you get a big discount. You get, instead of $2,000 worth of patches, you get it for $1,750. So you're saving money, you're saving on ordering, and it allows you to 2 extra months where you don't have to have your subscription. You have to have a monthly subscription just so that you can continue to get your income each week, each month. We do get paid on a weekly basis. So the importance of having your subscription is that it allows your volume to accumulate. And let me give you an example. Let's say you got started, you invited 2 people, they decided to join. They invited some people, they joined. There were people coming in as well, and all of a sudden you have all these people in your organization that are purchasing and using these patches. They're creating what's called volume, and volume is converted into income. So if you want that income to continue to go, you need to have at least a 1 sleeve subscription. That just you need 1 sleeve a month anyways. And I don't call it a cost, I call it an investment because you are invested in your health. I invest in 4 of these every month. One for myself, one for my wife, one for my mother, and I have a brother in South Carolina who needs them as well. So every month I get a minimum of 4 sleeves and what I purchase in between. So again, that allows the volume to accumulate. But if you want to, and if it allows you to get paid 4 different ways. As I mentioned earlier, we get paid 9 different ways. If you get the 1 sleeve subscription, that allows you to pay it up to the 4 different ways that we get paid, 2 which I've already just shared. But if you want to get paid all 9 ways and maximize the compensation plan, you need to get started with the premium pack, which is, uh, you know, uh, 20 sleeves for $1,750. So again, you're talking about $200 a month in inventory, $200 investment in your health. You need at least 2. Even if you're single, you need 1 for yourself to use and 1 to share. And again, it's a write-up as well. I already talked about where you can get information. Go to thisitifo.com. But if you want to see how we operate and the successful system that we have, it's called thisisitteam.com. On that site, we teach you how to get started, how to enroll someone, how to set up your wallet to tell us how do you want to get paid. Do you want to get paid by check? Do you want to get paid direct deposit? Do you want to order a debit card and get paid and have the funds directly transferred to a debit card? So you decide how you want to get paid. Again, so if you go to thisisitteam.com, all of what you need to know to have success is there. If you're the kind of person that's self-motivated, you can literally go to that site and have success just by following the training, the videos, and everything that we put in place for your benefit. We are the This Is It team. We are the #1 team within LifeWave. In fact, we're responsible for about 60% of the growth that the company's had over the last 3 years has come as a result of this team and this organization. So you're being trained by the best of the best. And again, and we are here to help you as well. Now is the time for you to make your move. Again, just remember, as I said earlier, if you are a guest on the call, make sure you type in the chat your name and who invited you. So if your name is Sarah and you was invited by Jane, or you say my name is Sarah, I was invited by Jane. If your name is Michael and you was invited by Emerson, you say my name is Michael, I was invited by Emerson. But put it in the chat so that we know that you were here. The question is, are you serious about your dreams and goals? This is for your future. This is all for your future. And I want to share something that I think is very profound. Some of you may have heard of something called cryptocurrency, in particular, something called a Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, at one point in time when it first was released and they were sharing it on Zoom calls and telling people about this digital currency that's going to happen. A lot of people didn't believe it. They didn't understand it. But at one point, it was only 5 cents, 1 nickel, about the size of a patch for 1 Bitcoin. So with $1, you could have purchased 20 Bitcoin. But what if you was a big spender and you had $10 and instead of 20 Bitcoin, you multiply that by 10, you have 200 coins, right? Bitcoin last year got to a high of $120,000 per coin. So you spend $1, you buy 20 Bitcoin for 5 cents a piece. You hold on to those coins, and then last year you sell it at $120,000 per coin. You do the math: 20 times $120,000 because you had a $1 investment because you saw the vision and you took advantage of it. What if you had $10 worth of Bitcoin? You multiply that by 10. What if you had $100 worth? I mean, the bottom line is it would be astronomical what you could earn. But the reason I share that with you is because that was called an opportunity. That was something that had people that have vision that can see that, hey, this is something that's coming down the road. But in our lifetime, you are lucky if you actually are even exposed to one or even two opportunities where you can get in when it first started. Maybe you missed the Netflix when it first was launched. Maybe you missed on Apple, maybe Amazon. Many of us missed out on the cryptocurrency when it was only 5 cents a coin. But in your lifetime, you are lucky if you get exposed, invited, or somebody shared with you an opportunity like a Bitcoin. So this is your Bitcoin moment. So what do I mean by that? In your lifetime, you only have either one or two chances that you will get exposed to an opportunity that could be life-changing for you. And as I close this presentation and remind you to get back to the person who invited you, I want to close and leave you with this question. Is this your first opportunity or is this your last? And if it is, what are you going to do about it? So again, I want to thank you for joining us. Get back to the person who invited you. Get yourself patched. Get them to tonight. Don't wait till tomorrow. Get it tonight. Get going. Get started. And for those of you who are so inclined to want to share with some people, we do have a call at 10 o'clock tonight for our West Coast audience. You're more than welcome to invite people to see it. And you can literally have two people on the call tonight and become a one-star manager in the night and start to build your business. And we get paid on a weekly basis. So guess what? You can have your first payment next week, your first commission, your first earning a profit by doing so. So thank you all. Have a great night. Get back to the person who invited you. And I will see you all on the beaches of the world. Good night and God bless.